Percy! If I'm mistaken in my understanding that your lesson began 5 minutes ago, please come visit my office to correct me, since it seems you're not expected anywhere. Because, of course, the alternative would be, as I'm always telling my students, that I'm not wrong, and you are late again. But I struggle to believe such incompetence is possible. Indeed, were I to receive another report of lateness, I'd have little choice but to act with all the swiftness an academic should learn at an educational institution, and administer a fitting punishment post-haste. So unless you'd like to be fed to the dinner ladies, run along, boy. To the Utgard Club chaps who thought it a side-splitting jape to summon a greater demon of unending flatulence, count yourself lucky that you botched the ritual. It's not big, it's not funny, it's a foul beast from the nether realm, and if I wanted a little troglodyte running around the faculty lounge eating the cheese boards, I'd have invited a Lampwick University student for the afternoon. Now that you've done it, we might as well wait till it's out of gas and get a picture for the diversity page of the prospectus, but I want it banished by break time. Right, boys? It's all fun and games until you wake a snoozing elder. And don't think for a second you can use this for extenuating circumstances, which you should have learned after you tried to pull that with your last failed ritual, attempting to summon a fairy of extenuation, as I recall. Thomas Tosspot will never be anything more than a backbencher after what he did with that horny satyr. That's what happens when you mix up the Book of Ineffable Beings with the Book of Effable Beings. Thank Chancellor you didn't do that this time, or we'd probably have Nob Shagarath back here demanding child maintenance payments. And not a word about this to Ofsted, all right? For those taking my History of Undergarments module, I've been receiving the queries from some of you, and it seems we've got our wires crossed, rather farcically so. So, to be ultra sheer, the book you need for next week is A Brief History of Shorts, not A Short History of Briefs, or any other loosely connected garments. Though I'm sure Professor Bumsqueeze would be only too eager to take a break from his satire society and find a way to extrapolate the material enough to fill another volume in his exhaustive Jokes Explained series, I'm afraid the most stretching we'll be doing in this course will be in our practical exam on elasticity. Besides, I'm sure Bumsqueeze has his hands full, tittering his way through his caricatures of cleavage class or some such. But please make sure you have read the correct book, A Boat's History of Beefs, for our lesson. Should be in healthy stock in all the campus book suppliers, so I can't imagine you'll have any trouble obtaining it. I believe in Touchstones you can pick it up in a set with Thongs, Briefs and Strings by Jared Rhinestone, which I'd recommend snapping up, as you'll have to read that one for next term, when we dive into Twisted Knickers and Social Impact. The material for that can be quite challenging to unravel, so I usually advise students to make a start on it as soon as they can. Right, I'll see you at our lesson. Oh, and students that missed last week's lesson, I'm sure you'll be bringing me a robust evidence-based explanation as to why, but just to inform you, we've covered erogenous zones now. Usually it would of course be your responsibility to catch up on what you've missed, but I think we'd all prefer to save the embarrassment of anyone showing up to this week's lesson out of the loop, and out of their pants. Ellie Little. We take overdue library books very seriously. It is theft. Certainly literary squatting. And should you not return the items by tomorrow, you will owe another 100 in interest. Let this be a lesson for all of you about the discipline concerning library materials. And Ellie, since it seems you need reminding, the overdue items are as follows: the very organic caterpillar, where the toxic things are, and the socialist who came to tea. All the latest revised academic editions. Even the spines of any of them are worth more than your own. And should they not be handed in by tomorrow, you and any subsequent bloodline will be banned from the Little Learner's Library for lives. Let's all hope this is a learning experience. Because if such a transgression were to be prophetic of any future class of behavior to be expected, I think we may be returning you, Miss Eleanor B. Little.
Percy! Whilst professors in gowns are walking their rounds, undergrads shall not enter the Garden of Reading. I can't imagine how you got past the grounds, Ogre, but if I catch you running on the grass again, you'll be fertilizing it.